Oh, hello, Red Wings faithful. I'm Hermdo, and we're going to be going over the last two Red Wings games. It is Halloween today. Happy Halloween. I'm dressed up like Pavel Datsyuk, a fat, bearded Pavel Datsyuk who's never played professional hockey. But anyways, October 28th, Detroit 5, St. Louis 2 at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis. Early in the first period, St. Louis took the lead via Braden Shen at 47 seconds in. Detroit responded later in the first. Ben Sherratt scored his first of the season at 12:01 to tie it. Then Alex DeBrincat scored a power play goal at 19:24 to put Detroit ahead 2-1. Assist was from Moritz Seider and Dylan Larkin. In the second period, Dylan Larkin scored at 11:14 to make it 3-1. Assist from Simone Edvinsson and Lucas Raymond. Elmer Soderblom scored at 12:56, his first of the season, to extend it to 4-1. In the third period, St. Louis's Jordan Kyrou scored at 15:36 to cut the lead to 4-2. Final minutes, Detroit held on to win 5-2, capturing the road victory and completing the sweep of the Blues in the season series. Standouts and note: Dylan Larkin, 2 goals, including empty net. DeBrincat, 1 goal and 1 assist. John Gibson, 20 saves. The win improved Detroit's record to 7-3-0. The game was a strong showing for Detroit on the road. After conceding early, they responded with multiple goals and controlled the middle periods. The depth scoring Sherratt, Soderblom, plus more contributions from Larkin and DeBrincat showed balance. The goaltending and structure held sufficiently to sustain the lead, despite St. Louis's early attempt to rally late in the game. Sorry about that. I got to write these scripts better. Anyways, October 30th, yesterday, Detroit 4, Los Angeles 3. It was a shootout win for the Wings. The Wings had a 3-1 lead in the final minutes of the third period, and then they let in 2 goals on it when the Kings were on 6-on-5. I believe, what's his name? Quinton Byfield scored the final goal. I don't know how many minutes were left. I missed that part of the game. I was at work. But anyways, by second period, Detroit was leading by 1. Marco Kasper scored twice, including a power play tip-in off a point shot from Sandin Pellikka. Late in the third period, Kings scored 2 goals in 40 seconds. Corey Perry and Quinton Byfield to tie the game and force overtime. Kings had a 4-on-3 power play in the OT, but failed to score. The apparent winning goal by Kings was overturned. Goaltender interference. Shootout, Lucas Raymond scored the lone successful attempt. Cam Talbot stopped all 3 Kings shooters. Detroit secured 2 points. Marco Kasper had 2 goals, including a power play. Alex DeBrincat, again, 1 goal, 1 assist. Cam Talbot, 35 saves, and he was perfect in the shootout. Other than the last couple minutes of the third period, Cam Talbot looked really, really good. And Lucas Raymond had the winning goal. This was a gritty and resilient win for Detroit. They regained composure at the Kings' late scramble and closed it in the shootout. The fact that the young players, Kasper, Sandin Pellikka, made a big plays, and veterans Talbot and DeBrincat helped the line is a positive sign. The ability to win games and the road is often a hallmark of playoff-capable clubs. But here's a little bit of a breakdown, some available advanced stats and play-by-play data of the last 2 games. Let's get into the first game, the October 28th game against St. Louis. A 5-2 win suggests Detroit generated good offense and held the lead comfortably, even on the road. The mention of long-range shots from Detroit's defensemen indicates the team was possibly more willing to take point shots and move play from the perimeter, which can lead to more volume but could also increase risk of rebounds. Because detailed expected goals, XG, or high danger chances were located for the game in the sources I searched, we can infer that Detroit's 5 goals matched or possibly exceeded their expected production of the night, a positive sign. The relatively comfortable margin, 3 goals, comfortable margin of 3 goals, also suggests this team didn't have to rely solely on goaltender heroics, which is a good thing for a sustainable performance. As for the October 30th game, last night's game, the shots were Detroit 27, Los Angeles 38. Face-offs, Detroit 48.4%, LA 51.6%. Penalty minutes, Detroit 8, LA 6. Money Puck tracking site includes game ID page expected point metric. Detroit's deserve to win meter shown as 44%. Shots allowed, 38, significantly more than shots taken. 27 suggests Detroit faced more pressure. Despite the win, the statistical evidence suggests Detroit may have been outplayed in terms of pure possession shot volume. It harkens back to that game against the Maple Leafs where they were outshot by like 25. Then still won. The 38 shots allowed versus 27 themselves means they surrendered more with the play. The deserve to win meter of 44% implies that Detroit was statistically somewhat underdog in the terms of expected outcome despite winning. Essentially, they outscored their deserved goals, or the metrics suggest maybe they got lucky or performed above expectation. Winning in a shootout also suggests that while the result is positive, 2 points underlying play may need improvement in terms of limiting opponent chances and controlling pace. The face-off and penalty minute stats show Detroit was at least even in those areas. The big differential in shots against In practical terms, the win shows resiliency, came back, won in shootout, and ability to get the result under pressure. But for long-term health, they want to convert more of those nights into wins where they deserve to win, i.e. lead metrics, rather than win despite being outshot. Overall implications from both games: Detroit is capable of big wins and showing depth on October 28th and grit on October 30th. The advanced data suggests some nights they are dominant, other nights they win despite the numbers, which is fine short-term but riskier long-term. Detroit has to tighten up because they will not be getting lucky like that throughout the season. You can only count on those games every once in a while. You can actually get outshot, get outplayed, get outchanced, and still win, which, you just really not a smart way to play the game anyways. Over the coming stretch, watch Detroit's expected goals differential, XG for minus XG against, and high danger chances allowed. If they keep winning while being outchanced, they may regress. For Detroit's young core, Sandy and Pelka, Kasper, Danielson, these games showed opportunity, scoring meaningful minutes, high leverage situations, and which bodes well for development. So that's going to do it for me. But 2 wins. This is now their 3rd win in a row. They are playing, I believe, it's the Sharks. Oh, no, the Ducks tomorrow. Oh, today. They're playing today, Halloween night, at 10 o'clock p.m. That's on the West Coast. Then they're going to be playing the Sharks on November 2nd, the Golden Knights on November 4th, and then they come back home to play the Rangers on Friday, November 7th at 7 p.m. But, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. Go Red Wings. They're looking really good. They're top. Let me take a look. Check this out. We haven't seen this in a very long time. The Red Wings are leading their division. They've won 3 in a row. They're above the Canadiens. Maple Leafs all the way at the bottom. That's kind of unbelievable, but that's just, that's hockey for you, baby. That's hockey for you. I didn't think they'd miss Mitch Marner that much, but anyways, the Lightning are creeping back up there. They've won 4 in a row. Canadiens and Senators round out the top 3. These 3 teams are pretty much bottom feeders for the most of the last decade, but they seem to be showing some progress. We talked about Canadiens and Senators and kind of how their rebuilds were kind of ahead of Detroit's. But the Sabres still down at the bottom. I don't think the Sabres are ever going to get their shit together, unfortunately. But anyways, that's it for the last and final time. Thank you all for watching very much. I'll talk to you guys later. Go Wings.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.